Grace, and right now I'm coming at you with all the books that I read in the month of September. The month of September was kind of like a mediocre reading month for me. There was a lot of stuff that I wanted to do with Diversathon and just reading a bunch of scary stuff, but I was very busy, so I didn't get to read a lot of the things that I wanted to, and I need to catch up on my review books, and I'm kind of just drowning in stuff. It was an okay reading month, so let's just go ahead and get right into it. First book that I'll talk about is a book that I've been reading to my niece and nephew for a bit, and that is The Witches by Roald Dahl. I haven't updated my Goodreads while reading this because it's been so long since I've read it, because I read like a chapter every night to my niece and nephew when they feel like it. It is very hard to get them together and just to pay attention. But anyway, I probably enjoyed this more than they did. I thought it was cute, thought it was a tad bit spooky, and overall just the humor was really great. I love Roald Dahl's writing and how he talks to you through it, and so I would end up giving this like 3 out of 5 stars or 3.5 out of 5 stars. Still need to update that on my Goodreads. The next thing that I read was a short story from The Ghost Stories by Roald Dahl again. I read the first story. It's literally like 3 pages, if that, 4 pages. And it was okay. It was kind of just meh. It follows this guy. He's a writer, and he likes to get critiques in the mail, and so he like reads the critiques, or people who praise his writing. And there's one person in particular, WS, his initials, who keeps critiquing him and saying that he's coming after him, and with every postcard or with every letter he's sending, the post, like the state or the city that he's in is closer to his residence. So it's a bit spooky, but it was nothing like, wow, that was great. So I would give it like 2 out of 5 stars. Just the first story though, because I haven't read all of them. The next thing that I read was also just a little short story, or one of the short stories in it, and that is The October Country by Ray Bradbury, and I read The Dwarf, which is the first little story, and this was good. I really enjoyed it. It was short, it was a little bit spooky, it was kind of just like everything that I wanted at the time, and I would give it, that short story, like 4 out of 5 stars. I'm very excited to read this entire thing because I love his writing style. The next book that I read was The Archive by Victoria Schwab. I have been meaning to read this for so long. I've had this book forever, and I finally read it, and I really enjoyed it. I definitely think it sets itself apart from a lot of like YA books that I've read. It's very unique. It follows this girl named Mackenzie, and she has basically been trained since not trained, but told since the age of like 5, I guess, by her, I'm pretty sure it's her grandfather, that she will be the keeper because he's the keeper. And basically the tagline for this book is that the dead rest in shelves like books, and she's the keeper of the dead. So basically, if they call them the archived, if the dead want to escape, she is in charge of putting them back into the archive. And that balances things out in the real world. Her and her family move into this hotel, or this, like it was an old hotel, now it's like for apartments and stuff, and her mom's renovating it to be a coffee shop, which I thought was really cool. It gave like a cool vibe to it. And also there was a cool plot twist in it. I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I was a tad disappointed with it, just with like the character. I don't know, I wanted to like the characters a bit more. I felt like it was very plot driven and not, I don't know, too into the characters. I just didn't attach myself, or I didn't connect with the characters as much as I wanted to. And even though like there's characters I just don't connect with, because I'm not like them in any way, I totally understand that, but I couldn't, like, it was hard for me to feel her emotions, is what I'm trying to say. So I wish that there was a little bit more to the characters in this, but I still really enjoyed it, and I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. And the last book that I'm going to talk about, I haven't finished, but I'm almost done, so I thought I'd just mention it, and that is Splintered by A.G. Howard. This is another case in where I've had this book for so long sitting on my shelf that I finally just was like, hey, I need to read this. That's my mindset with a lot of the books that I want to read now. Just want to read the books that I've had for so long, just to knock them out and see if I like them. If I don't, I'll unhaul them, that kind of thing. Kind of want to get rid of clutter. But anyway, this is really cool because I didn't know it's a continuation of Alice in Wonderland, and I think that this is just like a really cool vibe of a book. It follows a girl named Alyssa, and her mother has been in an insane asylum since I think Alyssa was 5 or 7, due to her mom kind of losing trace of reality. Also, she hurt Alyssa at a young age, and that kind of finally was what put her there. And I definitely feel Alyssa's pain when it comes to, not that I've experienced that with my mother, but like the way that Alyssa writes it, and the way that she continues to call her mom Allison instead of mom, and the way she doesn't really talk about her mom, or explain that it's hard. But I definitely feel her pain with that, and it's very like real when you read it. This book is very magical. I think that if I were to have read this book like 2 years ago, I would have loved it probably as much as I loved Shatter Me. I just feel like, with the romance and the way the world is and how magical it is, I would definitely have loved it a lot more, you know, 2 years ago, but it's still really enjoyable right now. Right now I think I'd give it 3.5 out of 5 stars, but you can, you know, keep updated with my Goodreads, which I have linked down below. But yes, I'm really glad that I finally read this, or am reading it. So those were all the things that I read in the month of September. I don't really have a favorite because nothing really like stuck out for me and that I really, really loved, and I just want to feel that again, feel the book that I read and I'm like, damn, that was a good book, because that's always the best feeling. But yeah, it was an okay reading month. I would love to know what your favorite book of the month was, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.